Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. Hey, in the last week and a half through the holidays, I've noticed some pretty interesting things. And that is the government. I live in California, especially in this state. They tried to keep us separate. They tried to tell us, nope, you can't gather. There's no celebrating, certainly no worshiping. There's no restaurants open. There's no amenities. You can't go out and do anything barely in public with your family. You got to stay home in limited numbers. They tried to create the most restrictions, shut down our basic human desire for connection, break down your psychology, and break down your emotional state. And what did you do? You said no. What did we do? We said no. We still came together, right? We are still extra nice to strangers out in the parking lot or in the grocery store. There was still a little bit of a extra kick in your step with joy. There's still the experience of going through the holidays. And they can try and take away your rights if you allow them, but they can never take away your innate desire to connect and feel love and connection with your brothers and sisters in humanity. They can't take that away because that's inside you. They can try and take away everything else, but that's not going to happen because it's one of our strongest human desires to feel connection and love and to create emotional bonds. But more importantly, it's who we are divinely. So, hey, we're spirits first, having a human experience. And when we look at the human experience today out in the world, man, this whole year it's been stressful. We've been separated. We've been critical of others. We felt disconnected. People have been judgmental of others. And overall, the human experience out in the world in 2020 has been pretty painful. Would you admit that? And that's how we lived all year, except, man, all of a sudden the holidays come. That Christmas holiday spirit overtakes us. And then we realize, we awaken, we part a veil, and we realize that love matters most. Isn't that fascinating? It's time, we realize it's time to love ourselves and to love others the way Christ loved us. And here's the thing, Christ didn't fight sin, he didn't resist sin, he just chose not to participate in it. That became a choice. And so, can we make that same choice? Because we can make a choice that we can put aside all our differences, which we've done. We can see with loving eyes. We can see through the eyes of God. So, not just through our anatomical eyes, but we can see with our insight through our anatomical eyes, other spiritual beings wanting to connect, and we can see and feel that unity. It's been so interesting because my personal experience, I don't wear a mask anywhere. So, I mean, honestly, I put a mask on, I start to get headaches. So, as a doctor, I know, that's oxygen saturation and CO2 toxicity. I'm not going to do that just to make someone else feel comfortable. I'm not going to make myself sick. So, and that's part of it. So I don't wear a mask anywhere, but I noticed this last week that even though I may be the only one in the store without a mask, people were smiling at me. Even though I couldn't see their smile, I could see their eyes. I could get their compliments. I could see that people were generally more loving. And the holiday season makes people more accepting, maybe a little more patient, a little more polite, a little more compassionate to others. And then it's so fascinating that this happens all in the last week. Why? Because the whole world found a reason to be more loving. Now, you know what's fascinating? That's always inside us. That never changed. The only thing that changed was people's minds because they have an association that a holiday reminds us, brings back to our mind that we are innately loving beings. We are connected, that love and connection and really loving each other is the most important thing that's ever going to matter in our lives. And unity, that connection with others, is what's going to matter most. And I found that so fascinating. And this is a reminder, if you experience that and if you chose it, to be able to choose it again. Hey, masters become masters because they choose the same thing every time. Masters choose love every time. And so if that reminded us, then that means there's a light inside all of us that can shine at any moment. That there's a light inside all of us that we can choose to shine on others. We can be a lighthouse, shining our light, because in the world, man, that lighthouse is at the tip of the harbor. It's at the end of the jetty, right at the end of the point, and it shines out into the ocean where there's all this fog and danger and all these people and these ships and are outside and they don't know where to go, but they see the light, and the light guides them back into safety and back into the harbor. The thing is, can you shine your light and be a lighthouse for others to help them come into safety, come into connection, where we don't need a holiday, but that's who we are. We are enlightened, and we are a light for others because we're crossing into the new year. God only knows what's going to happen in January. We could be coming upon a very dark time in this country, yet it's still a choice to be a light in the darkness and to enlighten others and bring the best out in us. John 8:12, Christ says, I'm the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have light of life. I am the light of the world. You are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. And we can go out into the darkness of the world and shine our light, eliminate the darkness, and bring people back to who they are. Suicide rates are through the roof. 1 out of 4 kids are going through depression. Let's start with our family. Let's start with our kids. Let's be the light in the darkness. Let's shine our light out, and let's make it so bright that we give others permission to shine their light. Let's be a reminder that shining our light is not just a season. It's who we are. It's a way of living. It's a way of being. Michael Bernard Beckwith says, when you see me, you see the presence who sent me. Let's be that presence. Let's be that godlike presence. Let's shine our light. Let's be the light and continue to be the light, not only through this holiday, but let's make that a way of living and bring that into the new world because people are thirsting for it. So let's continue to do that. Let's make a difference. Let's be different. And so we can make the world different at what's probably one of the most crucial times in history. Thanks, you guys. Happy New Year. And let's begin to live this way all the time. All right, love you guys. Happy New Year.